まあだんだん年取ってきて体が動かない、頭が悪くなる。で若い時にできたことが簡単にはできなくなってきたけれども、休むいうのが何かわからない。寝てたら余計しんどい。一番楽なのは自分の好きな植物を触ってる、それに携わってることが自分の幸せ。多分だから死ぬまでやってるんじゃないかなと。だからこれはまあ根元はそれはお金儲けでこの仕事やってるんだけども、植物が好き、植物の中に囲まれてる存在する自分が一番安心幸せ、これが一番。みんなもっと植物の中で暮らせよ。
Hey guys, my name is Sean and I'm a houseplant enthusiast from Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm at Planters Market in Singapore. This is an international plant exhibition with vendors from around the world and of course here locally in Singapore. And I really love that fantastic collection here and the rich gardening culture that's been cultivated here throughout the decades. And the local legend here is Mr. John Tang. He's got like decades of experience in the botanical world and it's really such a wonderful support to the community. And then there's also Kunzo. He's here from Japan and this is his installation that we're standing in. I'm excited to just show you what's going on, so let's just get this started. That's Mr. Kunzo. He's doing a bit of shopping. He's quite the plant hunter. We just had breakfast earlier and he just said that he's going to Costa Rica next month and Yunnan and things like that to start to hunt for plants. It's amazing that at his age, he's still so very active. What an inspiration for us all. And this one caught his eye, the melastoma, variegated. Oh, that's pretty, look at that.
Very nice. Melastoma.
My gosh, look at that variegation. Oh, he might be taking that one home. And by the way, this booth is really interesting. It's called Green Dot Creations. I guess we're going to start our tour here. So all the booths here, they have like Platyceriums, Aroids and things like that. But this one has like really beautiful sort of garden plants. And the setup is very, very whimsical. Look at that philodendrons up there. And keep in mind, I'm not a gardening channel. So I don't really know a lot of these landscaping plants. I'm more of a houseplant type person, but I really want to take a moment because Singapore is a garden city. This is a Salaginella that's variegated, beautiful blue tinge here. Even just one flower like this smells divine. This is not in full bloom yet, only like a couple have been in bloom. And the scent is just like everywhere. Sounds very floral like gardenia or jasmine. And this one is really beautiful. We've come across this in a few nurseries. And if I'm not wrong, they said that this can grow into like a weed, almost invasive. But look at how beautiful the leaf is. My God, the underside is just so stunning. That, wow. And this one serves as a Leccanopteris. And if I'm not wrong, this is in the family of the ant plants, and it is a kind of fern. It is actually quite stunning, quite interesting. The leaves almost look like a microsorum. This is one that is very, very intriguing. Very good probably to put up on a plank or up a tree or a wall. Interesting, quite like that. And they seem to specialize in orchids. There's a whole wall of orchids here. A lot of cute, tiny, tiny orchids. Look at that. This is my fingertip for comparison. They're very, very tiny, very peculiar, and they have the blooms, the photos of the blooms next to it. This is some really interesting small plants here. This one is a Amorphophallus, and it's like super tiny. I have a feeling this might be as big as it gets. I could be wrong. But behind here, this is a Blacknum gibbum dwarf form. This is so cute. And the Blacknum gibbum is a fern that is super ornate and super easy to care for. Put out its little trunk. They start off as a rosette close to the soil. And as they grow up, if you like chop the top off, or if the top is compromised, or if it's just like super happy, they do tend to put off pups off the side. But someone correct me on that one because mine did exactly that. This one here actually drew my eye. The name actually something fragrance, and fragrance usually means it smells good, I guess. And look at how small it is. And this is also beautiful. This is in like bloom, and the bloom is like close to the base, which might suggest the pollinator is closer to the base. But every function of a plant has a purpose, has a meaning. There's a reason why they evolved that way. This is crafted identity. Yesterday I spoke with one of them. Hi. And they say that they're actually a workshop space, so they do a lot of beautiful aglaonemas, but also some bonsai. I'm going to show you the booth real quick. Some really fancy planting tools here. There are quite a lot of vendors selling these like very bougie plant care materials. Because Singapore is like a very well-developed economy, so people here can afford the nicer tools. These kinds of tools will not move in Indonesia at all. But Taiwan seems to be on the forefront of making these tools. That's amazing. There's all kinds of plants, orchids and kokedama. There's like kokedama plus bonsai. There's a bunch of different combinations. Feel free to pause the screen and zoom in on anything because everything is filmed in 4K. And these actually make really wonderful gifts because they're very, very ornate. They will look good on the table. If you don't know how to care for it, it will survive for maybe 6 months up to a year. And if you can obviously grow them well, they will continue on. But for these bonsai, you do need to learn about pruning, to cut it so that it vines, it branches better, or you need to manipulate it with these bonsai wires to give it better shape. This is just a common Dahlia fern, super common, but when you put it on a rock like this, oh my gosh, look at that, it's just enveloping the rock just naturally. This is how they look like in a natural habitat. Imagine how cool this is just to have in your home. It really brings the nature into your house. This one really called out to me yesterday because of that leaf. Look at that, this is a very phallic looking plant. And like there's a bunch of different shapes, sizes, something for everyone. So I guess literally you can kokedama everything up. Now, if you're a long-time viewer of the channel, you know that I'm not a big fan of kokedamas, just because they are super hard to care for in my experience. And plants really don't live a meaningful and long life in them because you need to take care of this, the beautiful syngonium. But they're actually wonderful gifts, very whimsical, and definitely something that I wouldn't mind learning someday, just for the kick of it. This is black toe tropicals, and they actually sell jungle plants. So these are plants that are actually very difficult to grow. But then I really am marveling at the fact that every leaf is pristine. Look at that. And these are all very difficult plants. Nothing on it. Now, when you see them in a jungle, they're super beat up, or even when you see them in certain nurseries, they're usually not in good shape, but this is grown so beautifully. I don't know most of these names. They're pretty exotic. This one's some kind of this is what people would like sometimes call just a Labicia sp or whatever, although there's many species of them. And look at everything. Everything is beautifully grown. Everything is so healthy. I'm like salivating here. This is not easy plants at all. And that one just really glowing. Now you can't really see on the camera, but the leaves are actually very dark in contrast to the light colored dots here. Very interesting. Some selaginellas. Everything is just in pristine conditions. I'm surprised that these are real plants. They look like plastic. Really well grown. And all the names are on the screen, but we don't really have time for all of them. This one's particularly interesting. Beautiful leaf. It looks a little bit like an aroid. So that's the species name. On the screen is 25 Singapore dollars. Here, this is so precious. Look at that. These are like super tiny trailing plants. I mean, I bet a lot of the plants here are actually terrarium plants. Oh my gosh, look at that. This is so beautifully shingling. I think this is a Rhaphidophora tenuis silver. Very peculiar. This one is also very interesting. It says, I don't know this species. It's $30 for this. And let me show you the leaves. They're like cute, fuzzy, and a little bit purple. And this one here has such beautiful blue sheen to it. Look at that, that's glowing really beautifully in different light. I don't know what P stands for, but we're gonna find out at some point.
Hi, I'm Fendi from Little Botany.
Hi.
We are here with our friends. We have different little plants here. So we specialize in all these little cute things here, if you can see.
Yeah.
All these small tiny plants. We got Dorstenias, dwarf billies. These billies don't grow very big, tiny. We've got barewater mimosas, we've got unique adeniums, little trees native to Madagascar. Some variegated hoyas, like this special hoya. This is the Albo marginata.
Yes.
We've got some plumerias. These are actually frangipani trees.
Oh yes, I love that one, the filifolia.
Yeah, filifolia.
Oh.
And then we've got a bunch of snake plants and cactuses around here.
Okay.
Some variegated edibles.
Okay.
If you come on in, we've got some cute trees here.
Yeah.
some ferns, some mini bonsais, and of course, like for those who keep killing your plants,
Yeah.
you can try clay plants. These plants won't die, and they're miniature, so they don't take up too much space. And there's like even earrings and all that. Yeah.
I see beautiful accessories here. And also, I believe we were talking yesterday that education is a big part of your business, that
Yes.
you like to educate people on how to
Yeah.
grow plants, how to
Yeah.
propagate, and
Yeah,
cultivate.
so we are like working with the government, doing a lot of workshops to teach people how to keep plants. It is important and vital to learn how to keep plants before buying them. And I think that through teaching and education, we can sustain our business and help others as well.
Yeah. And we were, just to interject a little bit, we talked
Yeah.
yesterday a little bit about how every seller actually has their role in sort of recruiting and educating new growers. It's
Yeah.
not just about selling.
correct, yes.
If you sell someone a plant and they don't succeed in growing it, that person fails and you don't convert them into
Yes.
long-time
We're
gardeners.
here to convert people to plant people.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Yay.
Okay, so like these are all from my grandma. Everything here, there's like $10 and buy 4 get 1 free. It's all from my grandma. She has like edibles like chakor.
Yeah.
She has like curry trees, all grown from seed.
Okay.
These are all her propagations from her farm. So
That's
I thought
cute.
it'd be nice to bring my family around here.
Yeah, grandma's
Represents my
collection.
family, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And more people should do that. Grandma's plants are really quite amazing.
And these are air plants from our friends, the plant people.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of family that keep air plants, and they like to make these cute little hangers that hangs
yeah.
them.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so it's all handmade by them, all these metal hangers.
Right here in Singapore, my gosh, and these are all also quite beautiful.
Sure, and it's so tiny.
And the price is pretty good too. I'm
Yes,
surprised
it
for
is.
Singapore, yeah.
Yeah.
Because these guys actually are not the fastest growing.
Yes, they're not.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the Plumeria filifolia that I had a short of. It got like, based on today, 156,000 views for the short. So basically this is a Plumeria and it blooms like a Plumeria. I filmed it at the Fairchild's Tropical Garden. So this is a small plant. The smallest one here, 68 Singapore dollars. It's like this tall, but it's already grafted. This is really beautiful. Now, when I saw this plant, I originally thought it was some kind of hoya or whatever. It's got like very succulent leaves, it's got a vining type quality to it, but it's in fact a ficus, and it's actually very beautiful. Variegation. Look at that. Amazing. Interesting ficus, I would say. And I just love how the leaves kind of pile like this. It's very elegant. Some carnivorous plants here, Sarracenia here, they look such beautiful. They're like in a clump.
So you're asking how to grow them, right?
No, I mean, a little bit. I mean, I know my biggest challenge for them is to put them in dormancy.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have the time to do it. So after a few years, they just die off.
actually, for these plants, what I noticed is that they don't really go dormant for me.
Oh, really?
Give them strong light.
Yeah.
So then the light needs to be very strong. So
Okay.
in my experience, they don't go dormant for me. So
Okay.
I think you need to give a lot of strong light, especially in those rainier seasons when the light is not very strong. Maybe
Yeah.
supplement with grow light.
I see.
Then
Full sun, that's what I know. Yeah.
for the coloration, very nice. This one is scarlet belly eye.
Scarlet belly eye.
Very nice.
Interesting. So it's a hybrid.
Yes, correct.
I see. And over here, there's some Nepenthes, but one of the most basic Nepenthes, easy to care for, is this one here.
Which one?
The Nepenthes ampullaria red.
Full area red.
Yeah.
The basil rosette.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. And they can have also pictures on the top, if I'm not wrong, right? Or,
Can, but it's very hard to produce them.
yeah,
They rarely produce upper peaches.
I see.
Yeah, very rare.
And this is easy to grow, correct?
Yeah, very easy.
Comparably.
They grow in many countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia,
See.
and they produce a very nice carpet of basil peaches.
I see. So this is 3 keys. They are actually a plant styling, also like kokedama, pottery. They do a bit of ceramics and a little bit of bonsai, like little trees. Really interesting business here. And just a couple of plants here. We're gonna quickly look through them. I really love the booth design with that bold orange background and this like stainless steel type shelf. Actually, this is not stainless steel. This is some kind of a fiberglass, if I'm not wrong. Really interesting aesthetic over here. And then he just gifted me an Everfresh seed, a pack of it. So the Everfresh is quite common here in Singapore. I don't know much about them, but I'm curious to see how mine can grow from the seed. This is a very beautiful plant, actually. Not very common in Indonesia. Actually, the Everfresh plant is really cute. Look at how it's like putting out the new growth here and that bud. Very fascinating plant. So this is a Phathedra, and I really love the leaf. This is what the mature leaf looks like. It's a little bit more dough, and the new leaf is glossy. But what I really like here is their treatment. I mean, with the bonsai wire, they manipulated the shape, and then it's given this like blue or navy blue type, like heather kokedama weave. So this is very, very beautiful. This here is some kind of cycad. And what I really like is also this beautiful treatment with that little bow finish. This is like next level. And he mentioned that he actually created this plate. So this is an avocado propagation in water. Beautiful form, look at that. So this is just a regular globe jar that he created a plate top for. Beautiful, that's also really, really stunning. I really love this like unusual peculiar plants more than the Aroids. Of course, we're gonna see some Aroids later, but this is so refreshing. This also is quite beautiful. This is a Philodendron cauliforum. We did a short for this, and we see it at the Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden. Really, really cute plant. It's nice to see some gardeners have them here. So far, I've seen them in Miami, in Philippines, and here in Singapore. Really peculiar plant. This here is a beautiful caudiciform plant, and with the pottery, it's really, really quite stunning. I really love the leaf shape on this. So this booth here has collaboration with an artist. This is from Japan. How cute is that? This is amazing. Oh, beautiful. If you cannot bring back live plant, you can definitely bring that. And it's funny that this is juxtaposed with these because these are real plants. These are like display. So they look very, very realistic. And that one I think is from Taiwan. Interesting, very complementary to the plants. Imagine if you just snuck a few of them amongst your cacti collection. That's beautiful. So they specialize in like caudiciforms, I guess. I know very little about these plants. But it is so refreshing to see. Look at that. That one there. It's got such a beautiful rosette. This is Fancy Plants Corner, and this is like a family business. I think that's the owners and his son. Hi. And I believe he took time off work yesterday to help the family set up. Some baby Everfresh trees. This is cute. Love it. These are black pine, variegated. I'm not sure if it's the same plant, but I featured a variegated pine at Kunzo's nursery. Beautiful. I'm not sure what this plant is, but it looks from afar like a large Fittonia. That's my palm for comparison. And it is a vining plant. Something that I'm actually very interested in because I cannot grow the Fittonia at all. So this might be a very good alternate. Don't know the name though, so someone can comment it down below. It's like wonderful multi-head cactus with flower. Wow, and this is a close-up of the flowers, in case you're curious. And behind it, juxtaposed beautifully are these beautiful hydrangeas. Oh my gosh. This plant is really, really peculiar. Look at it, it looks like a plastic plant. Fascinating. I might have seen this on Instagram before, but not in real life. They really look like a toy instead. And that little hummingbird that's buzzing around, that's really funny.
Yeah.
This is a Chihuahua flower succulent. It's either an Echeveria or a, what's the word is slipping my mind now. The Aeonium. I don't know what this flower is, and we're gonna Google it up. And beautiful too, this right here. This is an orchid booth, but they do carry other plants. And I want to bring your eyes to this. We did feature this in a previous episode in Singapore. The seashells with the dischidias and the hoyas coming off of the side. It's beautiful ripsalis coming off the seashells. That one is blooming too. That's funny. This here is the Lea amabilis. I think it's really popular here in Singapore. Not the easiest plant to grow, but it is actually very, very beautiful. Those leaves are very, very ornate. Considered a deep jungle plant. So here's a local cactus grower, and this one here is beautiful, and the price is actually pretty good. Good price, and look at how beautiful everything is. So I was taught that you have to find symmetry in them to find value. If they're not as symmetrical, they're not as valuable. And these are maybe better for beginners because when you go past this table here and you go right here, this is where the good stuff is. This is where things get expensive, things get very, very rare. That one is like crazy variegated. I'm not sure if anyone's into that kind of look, but Ariocarpus. And then this beautiful cacti in the back. Wow, they look like VIP plants. Gorgeous. I love looking at these in the shows, but it is stressful for me to bring them home because I tend to kill most of my cacti. I've been learning, but still, they're a plant for me that is nice to see in the shows, and it's very nice to show you guys, very satisfying to film, but maybe not one that I would say that I want to take on at this point in time. Baby passiflora, look at this. The leaves can get a lot bigger than this. It's a vining plant, but there's a few of them for sale for $10. I would totally get that. Very cute Leah zippeliana. And right next to her is Leah amabilis. They're like evil sisters. They're both very difficult to care for, but it's so beautiful. Look at that. For both of them, the leaves are so incredibly ornate. I actually ended up killing mine after doing a care and propagation video of it. They don't really like to be moved around a lot. They're creatures of habit, these guys. It's fun to propagate them, but then you really have to leave them where they need consistent care. And this one here, this looks like a really hard one. Piper SP Ecuador, $40. This looks really hard. Anything that's corrugated like this with the leaves, it's not gonna be very easy to care for. But my gosh, it's in such pristine conditions. Beautiful. I know a lot of anthuriums that actually look a little bit like this. This is a Piper magnificum. This can grow into a tree. It is actually incredibly beautiful. Look at the leaf, how glossy it is. I struggle with mine. They have like this beautiful burgundy underside that is actually very stunning. It can actually get more burgundy than this. This is still a young plant. And some arducias here. Beautiful leaves. Again, they're not beginner plants, but these guys, apparently they can be propagated just by leaf. You can take leaf cuttings off them. These are vivariums. Interesting. I still need to look up the difference between the vivarium and terrarium. I don't know what's the difference. This is actually a very beautiful display. Look at that begonia perched right there. A lot of like miniature orchids in here, so I guess they do look good in these like vivarium or terrariums. I love what's going on here. Look at the contrast of the colors. Beautiful. And I don't know what this plant is, but the emergent leaf is just really beautiful. And the name is escaping me now, but that plant there, I used to have it, and I haven't seen it in a while, which means I probably have lost it somehow. So this booth belongs to someone named Edward, if I'm not wrong. Beautiful begonias. And let me see the name for this. This is the Sobalina. Gorgeous. We might have come across this in Taiwan in an episode, I think 2 years ago. And back there, this one is actually really beautiful. Really beautiful. This is a bigger one, sorry. Look, it's so stunning. Look at this. Hang on, that's not a good light. This is a better light. It's amazing. Gosh. I really like this. I mean, I should probably do an episode on the plants that I would have bought in this show. It's a begonia ocean leaf. This is really beautiful. And this one here too, this is so beautiful. Look at this. Look at all these begonias. It's so stunning. It's coming out with a new leaf. This is a smaller one. Oh my gosh, I'm so fascinated by this. Beautiful. And this one here, this looks a little bit more on the common side. I'm not a big fan of pink begonias, but some of you might be. It's like pink and metallic silver. Interesting combination here. Oh my gosh. Look at that one. Oh. This is a Cactus Boy Nursery, $15. I think in the Philippines episode I mentioned that home from Thailand, we were during a cacti, and this is in Thai word, the twisted penis cactus. And this might be a cutting of it. $15 for this. Pretty good, I think. Beautiful. I love these lights too. A lot of beautiful cacti here. Beautiful orchids, look at this. I mean, I do appreciate orchids. I know next to nothing about them. There's so many varieties of them. It can be intimidating, but I really want to give it a minute here to show you the different ones. These are really beautiful too. And a lot of them are actually used in landscaping here in Singapore, in indoor landscaping. We featured some in the Changi Airport episode in the shorts. So a lot of these like wonderful hybrids that are being like bought by the landscaping companies. Some in a tank there, but they're VIP begonias.
Jehoia 70.
Jehoia?
Jehoia, the center one is a piper from Papua.
Okay, you said the Jehoia is which one?
Begonia Jehoia.
Which one?
The left one.
This one, the
Yep.
dots?
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. Is it a hybrid or species?
Species. It's named after John.
Johan. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
It's
fascinating.
Jehoia.
Yeah, and I love that background too with a lot of lights in the back. It's so whimsical.
Then this is Melanosticta.
This one?
Yeah.
It's not a begonia?
Yeah, Begonia Melanosticta.
Oh, Melanosticta.
This is a first time release.
Where is it from? Do you know?
Sabah.
Sabah is in Malaysia.
Yeah.
And does it take long to get here? Do you know? Years?
To about this size.
Yeah.
Maybe 3-4 years.
Oh my God, that's very slow. No wonder many people don't have them.
Yeah, it's very slow.
Yeah. It's a variegated jewel orchid. It's variegated on the outside, just my pinky, for example. And next to it, look at this beautiful pinguiculas. Gorgeous colors. And they have a ton more in the back. Wow, amazing. They have these whimsical flowers. This is super cute too. This will make really good gifts. Although one have to expect that this might not survive because they do need ideal conditions to grow. But 3 for $10 is really good. Really cute. Echeverias. I'm just really obsessed with this booth. This is all Tillandsias. Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start here. I think Tillandsias are gonna make a comeback at some point. A lot of people are growing them out. This looks like a kind of hybrid. A lot of hybrids are starting to hit the market. Interesting. This one says it's the Vanginii Red Dragon, $50. Still pretty pricey for this. Look at that. They tend to go hand in hand with Platyceriums. People grow them side by side. They have very similar care requirements. Here, a beautiful climbing fern. This is another type of ant plant. When you see this, usually they have a symbiotic relationship with ants. Beautiful. And these are beautiful blooms on the Tillandsia. As a bromeliad family, they do bloom only once in their lifetime, but they have very showy flowers. And then they'll put up pops off the side. And we are now at Mr. Kunzo's booth. Some peculiar plants here. I'm gonna just gravitate towards the hoyas first. This is the Hoya Carnosomadara Snow Angel. Beautiful. I don't know what these are. They look like onions to me. But I'm gonna Google up the photo to see what the flowers look like, or the leaf rather. And he has a lot of Mathilde. I did see a few at his nursery. Check out his episode, please, in case you haven't. We tour his nursery. This is the variegated Mathilde. This is the splash Mathilde. And that's the variegated one over here. And these clevias, they're actually very popular in Japan and in Taiwan. I don't know many growers in Southeast Asia that actually owns it. This one looks like a beautiful mint variegated one. They do flower beautifully. I'm going to insert the photo of the flower on the screen. This one says it's the Clevia nobilis. There might be a few varieties of them available. But I really love the whimsical curly leaves. This one also curls. If you look there, beautiful actually. It looks a little bit like a Sansevieria if you ask me. This is Raphis excelsa variegated. We might have featured this in one of the plant tours in New York, in a New York plant shop. And this is actually supposed to be an easy growing. This is a Cupertia nursery from Thailand. And I absolutely love to see them when they put out these fronds at the ends. They're like reaching down and down and down. And that one here, this is trailing really beautifully. They really make wonderful hanging plants. Very good addition to the garden. And they're not terribly hard to take care of. This is the pot that it's in cocoa chips. And usually I just water it like every day because it's like very fast draining. But if it's a younger plant, you don't want to get it too wet too much. They can actually rot. So this is Sekiboka. They are a brand out of Japan. Beautiful. So they do this like mini bonsai. They do all the plants in Japan and they're grown on live moss. And the concept is like little tiny bonsai. And it's like very, very precious little ceramics. Beautiful actually. It's got that very Eastern Asian aesthetic to it. The Drinaria quercifolia, this is the variegated one. I believe this is $60. There's quite a few of them. This one here too. This is an interesting fern. I want to say this is an Angiopteris avecta, but I could be wrong. The leaves are very chubby, beautiful. But what's really particularly interesting and beautiful about this plant is the stem. Look at that. It's got this like interesting pasty pastel type frond on the stem. I mean, we don't call it stems on a fern, but it is quite beautiful. Unlike anything I've ever seen. So I was explained that this came from Vietnam, and the normal one, the stem here would be clear, but then this one here, it has like some kind of mutation. It's found in a small area in Vietnam, but it's like interesting stem. These are beautiful Apischia. Look at the coloration on these. Stunning, but it's 38 Singapore dollars, so a bit expensive. For me, the Apischia grow like a weed. Yeah, they're very easy growing plants. And this will absolutely take off into something crazy. Love this. Peperomia SP Columbia. Fascinating. This looks like a hybrid of different types of peperomias together. And this one has a very, very fuzzy stem. And this might inform us that it may not be as easy as the regular peperomias. But it looks like the watermelon in many ways. This is another Plumeria filifolia, very high up on my wish list. I really, really want one of these. I cannot find one in my country, but they're still a little bit expensive. And the thing about them is that you could just take a cutting off here and probably root it very well. Plumerias root very, very easily. Beautiful. I love the wispy pine-like leaves that actually bloom into with a Plumeria flower. But this here I wanted to show you is an interesting Syzygium geohui. We've featured this a few times on the channel before. But this one is about like my nipple height, maybe. But look at how long the leaves are. This is freaking insane. Oh my gosh. And I'm looking down to see like the older leaves. This one sized up very quickly. So these are orchids from Taiwan. I'm not sure the name of the species. I don't think I've seen flowers quite like this before. They're quite beautiful. And you can scan this really quickly. So this is the fragrance, small, yeah, I don't know the names of these. But something does smell nice from where I am. They're beautifully packed. Unfortunately, I know nothing about orchids. Oh, silly me. Actually, I looked at the sign again. It does say that clearly that this is a Phalaenopsis hybrid and species. So these are probably, in fact, Phalaenopsis orchids. In that case, they may not be the hardest ones to take care of. And they did mention that most of them do have a scent to it, which is interesting. These are scented Phalaenopsis. Really, really beautiful too to look at. Beautiful Vanda orchids. And this one here is like so interesting. And that here as well, it's beautiful. I could spend just like hours looking at them individually. They're individually very beautiful, but it's overwhelming when you see them in a bunch like this. Really, really overwhelming. And this one says flower with fragrance. Here's another booth from Taiwan. They really are quite strong with their orchid cultivation. And a lot of the plants here say smell me, they're fragrant. Also, that they are heat tolerant. So that's interesting trait to have here in Singapore in the tropical heat. And this is also very beautiful. Look at how big the flower is compared to my hand. This is fragrant too, so I'm gonna put my nose up to it. It's got like an acidic sort of floral smell to it. They're very, very strong. And this booth says it's a soursop lady. I wonder if that's a lady in the back. I featured her at the Plants Extravaganza show, which should air before this one. But they have some really, really interesting whimsical fruits, vegetables. This one is a Japan blueberry. And I love their signage here. They have really, really interesting signage. But I don't know, this is definitely not a blueberry. Oh, sorry, this is the blueberry that I'm talking about. But this is something else. This looks like tomatoes, but I don't really know what this is. But a lot of the products may have come from Japan, it seems. These are that blueberry, I think. I wonder what they taste like, actually. And this is a silky pine pineapple. And this probably illustrates to us that the banana is probably edible, but probably a dwarf as well. I really love this store. This really shows us like Singapore is a country that has a strong gardening culture, growing not just ornamental plants, but also plants that are for consumption. And this is a grape too. Look at that new leaf, it's so cute. But this is what the grape looks like. They're miniature grapes. So in Japan and also in Singapore, I guess space is a constraint. So having the dwarf versions really, really do help out here. Here it's got pictures of kiwi fruit on it. So this might be a kiwi plant, in fact. I didn't know that their leaves are actually that beautiful. But yeah, there you go. A lot of really interesting. This is a mangosteen. This is really fascinating. Papaya. I don't know if this is like dwarf or actual papayas. This is the Rewilding Co. They are one of the sponsors for the event. And we have an episode with Jono on his large anthuriums. And he told me on the way to film his anthuriums about his story about like having started a plant supply business here in Singapore. Now, I can't remember for the life of me the exact specifics of the story, so I cannot retell it, but it was pretty fascinating for me. But basically, he now has this like supply company, I guess a lot of potting media, but also the containers for plants. And some beautiful begonias here. Look at that. And this here too, this is so stunning. Look at that. Beautiful form. If there's a begonia competition, this might be a good candidate. This is really stunning too. This is a hybrid begonia. It's Darth Vaderiana. It's one of the parent plants. Beautiful. Begonia SP Sumatra. Oh my god, this is like turning into a begonia episode, but this is like really, really fantastic. I almost wanted to find out who's behind the begonias. Let's see if we can feature them in a future episode. Let me know in the comment down below if that's something that you desire. This is a variegated begonia, and that single flower in the back, that's like very, very defiant. How beautiful is this? Some interesting variegated agaves here, and I love the variegation. It's like in the middle of each of the leaf for $7. Honestly, this is one that I wouldn't mind getting because agaves are quite easy in my experience. A lot of bare root plants. I love looking at them in shops, especially when it's sprawled out like this. They're literally naked for us. Some Stephanias there. Some interesting caudiciforms. So it looks like a root. Look at that. It's so interesting to see what the plants look like underneath it all. And this is actually quite a popular plant and slow growing if I'm not wrong. Look at that. And I love the color gradation of this. They look like little tiny baobab trees. Oh my god, this is the Dischidia pectinoides. Long time no see. I featured this a long time ago in the channel, and they were a lot more abundant back then, but I haven't seen it in a while. And this is in full bloom. So they're forming these little bulates here, and inside it's red in color with some aerial roots inside. So the ants would actually live in there, and this plant provides it with shade and protection. And the ants would give it poop for fertilizer. And they actually look quite beautiful from up above as well. Very, very peculiar plants that is one of my favorites, but I failed to grow this well because I'm an overwaterer. This is an epiphyte. Ah, look at this beautiful potteries here. This is the name of the artist, but these are very, very abstract potteries. But there are a few of you guys, 6 people, so each having their own distinct style. It's really, really, I love seeing the little communities of potteries here. They're collaborative, but it's nice to see the different interpretations, the different kind of technique, art forms, skills, and of course the different plants. These are all homes, future homes for plants. And this is really beautiful. Look at these, like fish out of water. I don't know what these are used for, but I love the curvatures of the fish. If you look at it from this level, you'll see it better. It's very dramatic. This one here, if you put some imagination on it, this is very good for a tillandsia, something to perch on. Let me try to put one over actually, sorry. Let me put one over here. There you go. Maybe something a bit larger than this will be really cute. And look at this teeny tiny baby otter. That's so cute. I believe otters, they also mate for life. And if I'm not wrong, they hold hands when they sleep so that they don't drift away from one another. And while you look at this snake, this is so beautiful. I think they might be sold separately or together. Oh, maybe they are together because the snake is actually intertwined with this. And this is so beautiful, you guys. Oh yeah, I'm walking away with this one. It's $38. I don't know if this is gonna be for me or for my mom, but imagine like behind this, if you had like a little air plant or something coming off the back. Let me show you what it looks like from up above. Beautiful! Oh my gosh, look at this here. These are lipstick plants, Exquisite, if I'm not wrong. Just Nereid family, beautiful blooms. Look at that, blooming profusely. And then the leaves, they're curling on itself. I don't know what variety this is exactly, but this is pretty interesting to me. And the lush peperomia, I think Rosso, if I'm not wrong. The right name's gonna be on the screen. Beautiful, like leathery black leaves with like burgundy underside. Actually, this is a beautiful peperomia and they're so much fun to propagate. But for me, not the easiest plant to care for. And I'm gonna bet my horse money that this might be begonias, but I could be wrong. The flowers seem to be pretty big. It might have been bred for larger flowers, but the leaves are suggesting to me that they are begonias. Okay, honestly, these phalaenopsis orchids at this price, at this lush size, this is actually pretty affordable. In Indonesia, you would pay similar prices for the same type of orchids. And Singapore has like a much higher standard of living than in Jakarta. So very, very good deal. Some cute mini bonsai there as well. Mini bonsai seem to be very popular here in Singapore. Very cute aloes here. A lot of these are hybrids. And in my experience, they're not terribly hard to take care of. And behind here, some teeny tiny miniature orchids. Look at that. I guess in Singapore, they're really strapped for space. So something small like this would be very, very popular. And more ever fresh. They actually make very good plants. Beautiful table plants. If you keep them at a small size, they're actually really, really ornate. Some Adenilas, beautiful leaves, but they're about to bloom. I guess they were selected at the right time, just about ready to bloom. That's Russell there from Journey Through Paradise. We did a tour in his garden, so I'm gonna link that video up above. He's buying some serious tools. He actually has a massive, like personal jungle. I wouldn't even call it a garden, it's a personal jungle backyard. So it's I guess he's gonna hack away at trees and things like that. It's pretty ridiculous. Oh my god, look at these pruning shears. They're so beautiful. I think this is like leather bound. Beautiful. Extremely sexy. I love leather products. Hi, can you introduce yourself, what you do?
Hi, my name is Kiran and I'm from OnlyPlants. And at Planters Market today, we have a OnlyPlants and Friends mega booth. Joining me on the booth, we have OnlyPlants, of course, and we also have Kunzo-san from Japan, and also OnlyPlant from Thailand, and Paradise Tropicals from India. And so we are both mainly specialized in aroids. We have different plants such as philodendrons, monsteras, begonias, skindapsus. But the main focus of this Planters Market is actually alocasias for us. And I think a lot of the customers are quite familiar that we are one of the biggest alocasia sellers in Singapore, and as well as the Singapore's first ever variegated alocasia competition that we've organized this time round. Many beautiful mother specimens are on display, and a lot of people wonder why alocasias are so being highly sought after right now. Just look at the leaves. I mean, look at all these beautiful plants you see on the showcase. You have the white variegated, you have the pink that shows from the white variegated plants, you have yellow variegated, you have gold variegated for the brighter gold colors, you have green on green, very, very different colors. And what's really exciting about alocasias really is when you see the new leaves as it emerges, just like how you see a new emergence from an anthurium, for example. Gives people the excitement to see the colors behind it. And alocasias are known to be very, very colorful actually. You have your pinks coming out purplish, and then you can, after that it translates to pink, and it can go to white. And you have your green on green, and as you shine lights on it, and as the leaf burns in and the colors burns in, it could become yellow and bright yellow, and it could even become very light white color, almost like an elbow kind of color. So with variegated alocasias, it's really, really colorful.
Interesting. Now, some people, one of the challenges is that some people are intimidated by the care.
Right.
Could you share a little bit about the care tips?
Well, I think it's a myth that alocasias are really difficult, because I think everything needs a little bit of learning. As with monsteras and philodendrons, like you cannot water your monstera so much and all. For alocasias, very simple. Try the semi-hydro setup. That's what we do in Singapore and around the world. A lot of us have a double cupping method with a wick. The whole idea is to allow the plant to draw moisture at its own time. And given the humidity of about 70% to 80%, you should be good to go. One big challenge for a lot of alocasias would be spider mites. I think using a lot of chemicals is quite harmful for your family members and all. I would encourage you just to wash your leaves regularly, rinse them under the tap, and you should be free from spider mites because they hate water. I think the number one reason they kill alocasia is not realizing the pest issues that they have soon enough. So a lot of people don't really notice spider mites until the leaf starts to die and the plant starts to die. So I would say look closely at your leaves each time, and you should see pests, wash them and clean them up immediately.
Putting you on the spot here, I'm going to ask you for some recommendations, and you can pick out maybe one plant for it. So maybe one that is the easiest variegated alocasia for beginners. Which one would it be?
So one of the most easiest alocasia you can start with is dragon scale.
So
the leaves are thicker, and they're more hardy, and they do give very beautiful elbow variegation. Would you like to have a look at it? So these are white variegated dragon scales, and the leaves are quite thick, and they don't really need that high humidity.
Oh, interesting.
So you can keep them at like 65%, 60%, they will do fine.
Is it affordable? Can we share the
Yes,
price?
it's very affordable.
I mean, price changes
all the time,
and prices change all the time. By the time you see this in a few months' time, it might be different. So, but it's, that's what it is now. All right.
I have a very interesting plant that I found a mutation some years ago. It's called the reversa elbow, which is one of the highest priced alocasias in the market right now.
Oh,
interesting. It is,
Can you share a little bit about where you found it?
So this was found by a nursery actually. And it was entrusted in my care.
I see.
Because it was found mutated amongst thousands of green pots, showing very clear white variegation.
I see. So it's in Singapore or?
It's overseas.
Overseas.
It's overseas, that's right, not in Singapore. So basically, it's a whole big batch of reversa greens. And they found one which really striking and deep white variegation. And it's entrusted to me about 2 years ago. And we kept it really secret, and we grew it, and we tried to isolate it through the calm groans and try to isolate it. And today it's widely available right now.
I see.
But still very, very highly sought after, very high priced.
Now, the next question, the next recommendation, according to you, the most beautiful one.
In my opinion, the most beautiful alocasia. Then you've got to be at the exhibition, right? So this is the alocasia mellow elbow variegated. They call it the rhino skin because the texture of the leaves, it really reminds me of the rhinoceros. In the zoo. So it's one of the most highly sought after, and in my opinion, one of the most beautiful alocasias to collect. With the contrasting white variegation and the texture on the leaves, just make it so lovely to watch and lovely to grow.
Is it easy to take care of?
It is. It's also a very hardy one, similar to the dragon scale because of the thick leaves.
Which one is the most difficult one?
The most
Challenging
difficult.
one. Let's say you're an advanced person, you want to take on the challenge.
I think they're generally all
Similar care?
similar care.
Is there one that stood out to you like, ah,
It is, but what I would say is I would highlight the Watsoniana, for example. What's difficult is that the more variegation it is, the more variegated it is, it's difficult to keep the leaves pristine, right? So they do burn a lot.
Okay.
But for this specimen here that has been submitted for competition, has really purple and pink leaves, but yet preserved in a very, very good condition.
Oh, that's
so
why
it's
it's
scored quite highly for the competition as well.
yeah. Interesting.
So the difficulty is really maintaining the variegation and really making the leaves look perfect,
I see.
not burn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is an Alocasia venom. It's a mutation from Amazonica actually. And a lot of people looking at the plant think that it's a variegated plant, but it's actually not a variegated plant. It's just a mutation. So with every venom that you buy and you harvest the corms from the variegated, not variegated, from the venom, you will get a similar look mutation. It's a stable mutation.
Yeah. And the leaves actually, when they are small, they come out all green.
That's right.
And when they mature,
and the mature, the white will surface, and then you have they call it the tongue, the venom tongue.
Oh, okay.
The twisted
that
tongue.
thing, yeah.
That's the
I
tongue.
saw that the new thing that's unfurling that looks like a corkscrew that is really beautiful.
Yeah, that's right.
The emergent leaf.
Correct. And then it curls right below.
Oh yeah, stunning. But this one for me, from form, they're actually super slow compared to other allocations.
Yes, they are. I think it's quite subjective. It depends on the care and environment.
I see.
They are considered quite fast actually.
Really?
Because they are Amazonicas actually.
Okay, mine took like 6 months from a corm into like something.
It could be because it's a very tiny corm. Is it a very small corm? Maybe.
Also, the corm size matters.
Oh yes, yes.
So that should be a thing. The corm size matters.
So basically, if it's a very big corm, it has a lot more stored energy, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
For very tiny corms, they might not be as strong, yeah.
Now, question about corms. I've never asked this before. So corms are different sizes depending on their stage. The longer the
Right.
corm is developed, the bigger it is.
Yes, and more nutrients are in there. Yeah.
But if you leave the corm in there, you don't touch it, can it sprout into a plant or?
Usually it requires certain environment for it, like humidity and light. Yeah, and actually a lot of people, can grow corms in different types of environment. You can put it in moss, you can put it in soil mix, you can throw it on the ground, you can just put it in a cup of water. They do sprout as well.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, but the thing is, if the corm come with like an umbilical cord to the main plant, usually.
That's right.
If you cut it, and that's the chance for it to sprout more, right? When you plant it
Yes, when
purposefully.
you plant it and activate it, yeah.
If you leave it there, it's less chance for it to activate.
That's right. And another tip is really you do see a lot of kind of like a brown wrapping on it.
Yeah.
You should peel them off.
What? Okay.
That really helps.
Oh,
that really helps them to sprout. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Peel them off and expose the whiteness of the corm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good
And
tip.
Plant it. Yeah.
Thank you. This is the Alocasia Maharani elbow, and this one actually won the grand champion, which means that it won in both category as the #1. Beautiful. I believe there are 2 categories, but I don't know what they represent. But this is one #2, and this is the Alocasia Mellow GOG. And that one is really beautiful, that variegation over there. I actually asked yesterday if this was like a burnt leaf, but no, this is in fact one of the variegation. This one scored #1 in one of the categories. This is the Alocasia Simple Aurea. And this one won #1, the Alocasia Black Velvet Snow. Beautiful, look at that leaf. It's very, very frosty. If you look at it. This is the Alocasia Lauterbachana elbow, and this one won #2. Let me look at it from up above. This one won 3rd, Alocasia Silver Dragon Aurea. This one won 3rd place. This is the Alocasia Black Saturn Stardust. It's really, really beautiful, like pink leaf. If you see the light hitting it just right, it's got a bit of a pink undertone under the leaf. Now this is a lot to show, so I'm not going to show every single one, but I'm just going to show the one that stood out to me. This one here, the Alocasia Longiloba Purple. It doesn't look like much, but it has this like beautiful dagger shape that a lot of us are growing for our anthurium hybrids. They're very, very prized. But look at that middle there. This is so sinister. It looks very, very evil right there at that spot. There's something very elegant and timeless about it. Okay, I must point this out. This is not really my favorite. This is the Alocasia longiloba snow phantom. But a lot of variegated monsteras are prized for this kind of very mutated type look that actually a lot of the cacti lovers have been really into for a while now. So I think we might be seeing a lot of these weird mutations being prized in our Aroid and Aroid variegated. This is the Alocasia dragon scale elbow. I believe Kieran mentioned this yesterday. It's one plant that is easy to grow, and this is probably one that's quite accessible to most of you. And just an example of what it looks like when it's a little bit bigger. And that new leaf is coming out. Wow, that is so sexy. This one here, the Alocasia scalprum elbow, this is really interesting. It looks like it's got a tricolor variegation. It's got a yellow variegation that turns white. I don't know if it's the specimen or just this particular plant, but it seems to be like a little bit hanging down, which is very interesting. And then next to it, this is the Alocasia aslani elbow pink. This is actually a very beautiful Alocasia. And look at that flower that's coming out defiantly. It's really interesting. It came out exactly the right time for the competition. This is super interesting. This Alocasia watsoniana, generally speaking, would size up really fast. But this might be the dwarf version, and I'm not sure if it is, but they usually do get really big, and each subsequent leaves would get bigger one from another. But this is actually really quite beautiful. It looks like a toy, like one of those toy Alocasias that people make a merch out of. Alocasia sanderiana albo, and this is very beautiful. Look at that variegation there. That particular leaf is really quite beautiful. The other ones honestly are a little bit average, but just this one leaf, if most of the leaves can look like that, this one has a chance to break out as a superstar. This is one that Kieran pointed out to us yesterday. Just a close-up shot. This is the Alocasia watsoniana green on green. Beautiful. Look at how compact that coloration is. There's some camouflage looking pattern happening here, and that really maroon underside in the back. This can get really big, by the way, the watsonianas. This is actually very beautiful. I'm surprised they didn't win anything. Maybe the watsoniana is more like a common Alocasia, but then there's really something about this crumply leaf and also that variegation that looks almost like camouflage, contrasted by that super like feminine maroon back. So this is the Alocasia London Eye.
Yes, it is
variegated.
Usually we find it like a very round shape,
Yeah.
and the leaf will be very like compact. And this one is a white variegated version.
Yeah.
And we also have the yellow variegated version available too, which is in the picture right here.
I see.
It's some of the sample here.
Oh, interesting. It looks like the photos variegation.
Yeah.
Dream-like.
Very evenly distributed. It's good.
Now we came across a heterophylla in a Philippines tour, but they said this one is a white elbow variegated. Are they difficult to care for, the heterophylla?
The heterophylla is not very difficult, but it needs like a certain amount of humidity.
Yeah.
If it's too low, the leaf will like
come down.
But usually it is very easy to care of, not easy to get rotten. And the leaf is very nice, very silver.
Yeah.
With this elbow variegation will be very great.
For this, the silver doesn't come out yet.
Not yet.
Better.
Yeah, it takes some time when it grows up. The silver starts to show at one point.
All right, this is actually interesting. Is it a Bambino?
Yeah, it's a mutation from Bambino, which this is also found in our lab too.
Okay.
So we named it
The Beers.
the Beer's Blue.
What does that mean?
It means a blue diamond.
Oh, why is it called the Blue Diamond?
Because I was thinking of like something named just similar to like the silver color. But
Okay.
also sometimes when we see the dog, like a pit bull dog,
Okay.
it's silver and gray color, but they call them blue.
Okay.
Blue color. So we think of like blue things that very expensive. So we thought of like the Beer's Blue.
So it's gonna come out a bit like creamy silver like
Yes,
this.
very silver, and the leaf will turn anti-clockwise direction.
Yeah.
Like this.
Oh.
We're curving like this.
Anti-clockwise, I see the direction.
Yes.
But this is normal for them or not?
Not really for every one of them.
Okay.
Actually, it'll be like this, right?
Okay, they just point down.
Not always, but that one will point like this.
Interesting, like a whirlwind.
Yes.
Okay. This one really caught my eye in the beginning. Tell me more about the Holy Grail.
Holy Grail is the mutation that we found from Taiwan.
Okay.
It has no name before.
Yeah.
And then we bought the mother plant and did tissue culture and we named it Holy Grail.
Okay.
because of the shape of the leaf.
Yeah. We're at Keat Longon Garden from Thailand. I love the aglaonemas. There's a ton in the back here too. And this is the lady, she's one of the owners, I think. Maybe one day we can visit the nursery. But she brought these beautiful aglaonemas and they're laid out so beautifully. You can see all of them at one glance and I really like that. I love that they're all like uniform in size. I believe a lot of them are probably grown from tissue culture, so they're quite uniform. Beautiful philodendron galaxies. I might actually pick out something from them, but I'm going to Thailand next week, so I might actually get in Thailand instead. Aglaonistic Indo. This is pretty cheap at $10 for this one. But let's look around on the other side for the aglaonemas. And they do have some really good Monstera Thai constellations. I think people pick them up, 35 Singapore dollars. All right, let's look at more aglaonemas here. I'm gonna give them a bit of a post out one by one because they're laid up so beautifully. The Legacy Red here, $10. This is the aglaonema Lucky, $10. Look at the leaf. And Red Stardust. So this is a way for you to also learn some of the aglaonema names. So you can, in case there's one that you might find suitable for your collection. This is Aglaonema Aurora, Siam Aurora. This is actually a very cheap one, very common in Indonesia. Not easy. The red ones are difficult. Legacy White, Money Room Rock. This is the Aglaonema, this is Ploy Chompo. Actually, I really like this one for simplicity. It's just got that green classic leaves, but the pink is beautiful on the edge. Like that one. And this is, I believe, very common in the US and in Europe. Super white, I actually really like. I got one a while back. Surprisingly, they grow quite well considering the fact that they're mostly white with no chlorophyll. Super red here, even though it's actually fuchsia pink in color. This one is the Siam Orange. Let me see if there's any. This one actually looks like a Dieffenbachia. If you look up from above, because Dieffenbachia has this like dreamlike pattern, this dreamlike variegation. This is Luxub White. Actually, I quite like it. And somehow one of the leaf here is orange. But if you look at the other leaves, they are pretty much white all the way. So I don't know what's happened with this one. This one has an aberrant bit of a orange tip here. And this one I really quite like, the Aglaonema Red Vein, $20. Look at that, that's beautiful. So again, I want to remind you guys, when you buy Aglaonema, they're these like sad little plants. But then when you grow them in like a few years, they become a huge rosette bush of plants, and you can keep propagating them. If you have problem with root rot, because they tend to rot a lot, the best way is just cut the top, propagate in water. This is a surefire way to rescue them. Aglaonema Majesta, $20 here. Beautiful. Pink banana. Here is a Syngonium, and you might wonder why I'm looking at a common plant. This looks like a Three Kings in terms of the patterning, but this leaf, look at it, it's so chubby and big. The thing with Syngoniums is that when they mature up, they usually become like this 5 split or even 7 split when they get mature, but they don't usually size up like this. So this one is particular case, like my palm, it's bigger than my palm if you look at it. This is hilarious. It looks almost like an Alocasia for the size. There are more aglaonemas here. By the way, I really love this plastic packaging. It's so easy to bring them back and they're like soilless. Love it. Peach Panama. Oh, look at that beautiful cream in the middle. The red Panama. Prince of Orange is the philodendron. Okay, so this is the philodendron corner. Mahayasti, $15. Tricolor. This one is for me a very satisfying one to grow. It's got 3 colors here. And Suksum Jaipong, this is classic here in Southeast Asia. It'd be good for Christmas too, this one, $10. They used to be expensive, so this is a good price for them. There's so many varieties, so many hybrids out of Thailand and Indonesia. It's another red vein. We saw that earlier, but this is another example of it. I think a lot of things are repeats. This is amazing. This is a watermelon peperomia that's variegated. It's like $100 though, but it's amazing. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And there's more of them here. Look at that. That's amazing. Yeah, so basically they got this from Indonesia like a while ago, but then he actually selectively cut them to attain this sort of more glittery type appearance. So it's been selectively propagated to achieve this. That's amazing. This is Ruang Tanam Jakarta. They're from Indonesia. And they actually specialize in variegated monsteras, but this time they carried a few anthuriums with them. And they're also known for their merchandise. And some variegated anthuriums here. But I really want to make a beeline straight to this over here. This is the Anthurium SKG Silver. I believe last year when I was at the Miami show, this was like the hit. So this is a self-pollinated seedling. And behind this is the Indo-Hoffmanii Self. I believe this is $18 each. And you can already see some of the characters come out. We're at Kida Nursery. This is a baby caramel marbles at $60 Singapore dollars. Philodendron micans, they're variegated. 40, pretty good price for this. Beautiful variegation. And the Araba Ponce variegated, they're making rounds in the market. They used to be pretty rare last year, but I think now most people can get it. It's still $400, still pretty expensive. But it's beautiful when it's variegated. And the underside is red in color. Okay, this booth is interesting because they have the Devil Monster for sale. Now, I want to put a disclaimer out there. A lot of you guys have been DMing me, sending me photos, and asking me if the plant is a white monster or a devil. Chances are, if it's not from a very reputable seller, it's probably fake. Some people have been buying fake Devil Monsteras. Just be careful where you buy them from. This one, for example, is 11,000 Singapore dollars. Of course, it's a few months later when you guys watch this video, but not a lot of people are having them on sale just yet. So again, look for a reputable seller when you're doing the Devil Monstera. And then the electrolyte, look at this teeny tiny leaf. This is my pinky for comparison, 2,000 for this. So this shop really sells all these like super rare Monsteras at an economical price because they're like still a small size. The Bulbasaur here, I'll set you back to 2,600 Singapore dollars. And this is the Mint Siam, super cute, at 1,000 Singapore dollars, very small. This is the Monstera Light Lime. I have a short on this if you want to look it up. Let's see what the adult one looks like. But this is one variety that's got a lot of comments on it. Pretty interesting light lime kind of variegation on it. And okay, maybe back there, this is another example of the light lime as well. Interesting. Monstera Silver Star. I've not come across this variety before, but it's $150. Actually a very, very good price. I would really love to get it. And the Pink Princess Galaxy, buy one, get one free at $30. This is one that would look really good on a wall. I have a green wall. This is very much on my wish list, but I am going to Thailand next week, so I might actually pick it up in Thailand instead if one comes along. I've got like some Indonesian sellers that offer to help me bring back plants because they're bringing back their plants legally to the country. So I might be able to shop, I don't know, but let's see. But I really love to see these. They used to be very, very expensive. And the variegation is so beautiful. I struggle with my regular Pink Princess. I keep cutting it, propagating it. I'm getting progress. I'm getting better and better variegation. But imagine if I just got this, my problem would just be solved because the variegation here just looks very uniform and looks pretty stable. Of course, you can comment down below. Let me know if you think that this variety has pretty stable variegation compared to the regular Pink Princess. This is the Monstera Medusa. Actually, we cannot see the curl just yet. Now, there are different curls for the Medusa. Some are more extreme than others, but they're so expensive now. And this one is a really economical price for this plant. So this booth is Pluk, or the forest. And they are a tissue culture company, and they have all these rare Aroids at an affordable price. We've come across their booth in different shows in Thailand before. Another caramel marble. It seems to be like a popular one that a lot of people are tissue culturing. And of course, a lot of varieties of Alocasias here. But they're really well known for their Spiritus Sancti. They're very generous with their display. And in Thailand, they just like have the whole green wall decked out in Spiritus Sancti a few years ago. So philodendron melano price up. I thought it's just $60 for this. This is a good price. Philodendron prophet tortum variegated, $100, also a good price. This will mature up very beautifully when they get bigger. This is a beautiful Alocasia watsoniana. They can actually get much, much bigger than this, but these are so well grown. And this is actually a very common Alocasia, just to show you that actually some of the more common and classic Aroids will stand the test of time, and they will always be just beautiful. And they're more affordable than some of the other ones that are coming into the market. Cute. Oh. This is a local business in Singapore. I believe they're a duo there, and they have like really beautiful dark leaf anthuriums. Look at how beautiful and dark that is. And then their superstar here is this cross. So they do their own cross as well. This is anthurium chocolate cross with red spider hues. It does have a little bit of that Alocasia watsoniana look to it with that interlobe. Beautiful, or even look like a Ficus deltoidea if you look at it. So they said out of the seedlings, only one came out variegated, and it is this one right here. This is a Ace of Spades crossed with RVDP dark variegated. This one's interesting too. It's almost got like an iridescent quality to it that I find sexy in some anthuriums. I featured that in Eddie Pranato's collection at Floyd, a very iridescent looking one, but this is also one that is quite beautiful. This is a Fort Sherman crossed with open. This is a local illustrator. He's actually a teenager, but he's done all these wonderful illustrations. I guess this is just pen on paper. Beautiful. Are these prints or are they originals?
These are some prints that my brother made.
Okay.
Some of them are digital and some of them are hand-drawn.
Okay. Beautiful. They're like a rendition of a botanical drawing, but done in a way that is a bit more modern. Interesting. I love the half finished look. It's a really interesting style. This shows like the leaf structure. It's a basic, and this is the filled in. Interesting. This is a little Bonnie and Friends, and this beautiful variegated glorious. This is a tricolor, 128 Singapore dollars. Beautiful. On my wish list. Look at this Milano Chrysum. This is 700 Singapore dollars. Beautiful. And I want to show you this one. This is a Monstera neon coral. It's the first time I've seen this. It looks a little bit like the masterpiece, just a little bit, but I guess maybe a little bit more on the neon side. This is the Monstera ribcage. I guess the name is because it does in fact look like a ribcage, especially if you look at it from this angle. Interesting. This is 11,000 dollars. And that leaf, that's so funny. Interesting, it does have a more elongated shape, like really like a rib cage if you look at it, like a V shape. Philodendron plumanii variegated. This is 450 Singapore dollars. Amazing, and that like green on green variegation. Plumanii is a philodendron that's very easy to care for. It's very unstoppable, and they can size up quite well. And I believe this is probably the narrow form. Zamzam Urban Forest. This is a baby yellow Marilyn. This is from tissue culture. This is 75 Singapore dollars. Look at how cute. They can size up and they can become really beautiful plants, but it's the first time I'm seeing the baby ones. Love to see baby plants. This is it as well. Bigger. Okay. This is an anthurium red phantom, and the story goes that he bought it as a hybrid, it's unknown hybrid, but somehow one of them had this amazing character. And so he kept that one, and this is what it looks like. It's quite beautiful, especially under this light. Beautiful ribbing, very dark leaf. But this is a group of Vietnamese growers, and they specialize in anthuriums, so there's all manners of anthuriums here. This is a variegated. So this is a Philodendron bilitii crossed with Florida Beauty. I guess they were both variegated, the parent plants. You don't know.
I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
I hope so.
But it came out variegated, and the leaf is actually quite beautiful. And then they said that this one has a little bit of pinkish undertone to it.
Pinkish, orangey.
Yeah. So not sure where that one came from, but this is it. I quite like the leaf here actually. So this is a Philodendron red Congo mint and dwarf. Kind of cute actually. This is a Philodendron pink princess mutation. Beautiful albor marginata variegation around it. That's me. Gorgeous. This is an Alocasia portia, 250 Singapore dollars. But it's beautiful and it's towering right above me. I'm actually standing right up and this is towering above me. It looks like a Somatophile bipinnatifidum from below actually. One thing I noticed from this show is that a lot of people are actually walking away with these Thai constellations. They have become quite common now. Something like this is now like $28 in Singapore. The bigger one my friend bought actually for $50. It's like a lot bigger than this. So a lot of them are for sale now, and I think this is just one classic plant and it's variegated. And I believe a lot of people who are buying this, they're not exactly advanced plant parents. They just saw that this is a variegated plant that is stable, and they've seen it around and it's affordable, so they just went ahead and bought it without hesitation. While the new varieties of the variegated monsteras, people are very, very hesitant about because of the price. But this is now one that is actually very good for beginners. The philodendron red blossom, $480. I don't know what the parentage of this is, but this is actually quite interesting. So Mama Treehouse is actually a large nursery in Thailand. They're in every single one of the Bangkok shows. They're very, very out there. And we've run across them in China as well, but they do a lot of these variegated monsteras, a lot of rare plants. And these are actually single node cuttings, which is probably very good price for them. There's that little growth coming out of it on the side, that's amazing. And white lava is something that I would get at small size probably for the price, but also this variegation seems to be quite stable. So this is Jonas, and he's known to make this like QR numbers to track the parentage of the plants, keeping them like pure, and he only sells by cutting. He's very, very against like seedlings and things like that, just to keep the bloodline pure and the forms very specific. But this is an interesting anthurium. It looks like it's a species that I've not seen before. But like beautiful heart-shaped leaf, and emergent, it's like a refreshing color. But there are all the other dark leaf anthuriums here. I don't really know the names for most of them. But again, Jono is someone that you would want to get in touch with if you want to get a specific form of a specific anthurium that's well curated for its form. It's going to be a bit more expensive because he only does cuttings. But yeah, these are some of his babies here. Now I was going to do Platycerium at the end, but then I noticed that there's maybe like 10 booths selling Platyceriums, and it's becoming a little bit difficult to show everyone. But then another thing with Platycerium is that they're sold in these little sporelings, most of the booths, so we can't really see what they look like when they get bigger. And of course, when they are bigger, because they take like 2-3 years to get to a mature size, it will be so expensive. So one of the ways to get them is when they're so small, but then I wouldn't know how to comment on these just based on its existing size, because we really can't see the form yet. But there are a lot of beautiful Platyceriums out in the world today. A lot are coming from Taiwan, Japan, and Southeast Asia. So I urge you to give them a try if you haven't. And one more thing about Platyceriums, not only are they beautiful, but the care is surprisingly easy once you understand the basics. And also, because a lot of our tables and floors are covered with plants, these guys, they live on the wall, so more room for plants. This is another Platycerium booth from Taiwan. They're very diligent in these markets. Buy one, get one free. So we're in the last day, final haul for a lot of these plants. Sometimes it's good to come during the last day, although the best stuff is gone on the first day.
Thank you so much for watching this all the way to the very end. If you enjoyed this episode, note that there will be a Christmas edition of Planters Market coming up on the 12th to 14th December 2025 in Singapore. As usual, comment your thoughts down below so we can win the YouTube algorithm together, and send this video a like and make sure that you're subscribed. If you're somehow doing well in this crazy economy and wish to help me further along my mission to inspire greenery, you may do so as a member of Patreon at patreon.com/Sean from OnlyPlants, or join as a YouTube member. Simply open any of my videos from a computer browser, and next to my name you will see that join button. For as small as a cup of coffee a month, you're improving my quality of life and content. I will let you go this time. Thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!